in the spirit of the Golden Empire. This is 17 News at Sunrise.
You only have hours left to get your registration in if you want to vote in the March 3rd presidential primary. We'll tell you the steps you need to take to make sure your ballot counts.
A time known for snowy slopes is instead bringing wildfire concerns in the Tahoe National Forest amid dry, windy conditions. What state crews are doing to mitigate the danger?
Community and faith leaders plan to protest today in McFarland over plans to expand immigration detention centers. What both sides have planned on this Tuesday, February 28th, 2020. Good morning. Good to have you with us. I'm Maddie Jansen. I was going to say that is not correct, but I can't figure out what day it is.
You have a Monday holiday in there, and then it throws everything off. It is February 18th,
there we go.
But you know what?
Can anybody panic?
We are flying through this month, though, it seems like. But it is Tuesday. We're welcoming everyone back into the new work week, and Kevin Charette is back as well.
I am back from my trip to Antigua, Guatemala, and it's good to be back. Got home yesterday afternoon. Wanted to show you a couple of pictures, because if you've never been to Guatemala, you've got to make a trip. Take a look at this. This is most of their churches in Antigua, which is about an hour outside of Guatemala City. And I was actually there for my cousin's wedding. And take a look at this venue. It's just, you feel like you're in Rome almost. But this was an old church that had fallen in the earthquake. And then also, take a look at this. Right through the center of where I was staying, what is this? That is not a mountain. That is actually agua, a volcano in Antigua. Hasn't erupted in about 11,000 years, but what a sight. So if you were wondering where I was in Guatemala for my cousin's wedding. But back here home, and let's talk about the weather, because it's been beautiful around the area. Temperatures have been right near 70. No rain, unfortunately. Yesterday's high, 68 degrees, normally 64, so we are up from where we should be. We sit at 50 degrees right now, an east-southeast wind at 5. We are going to see a little bit of cloud cover today, starting out in the upper 40s to lower 50s, and then this afternoon by 3 o'clock, look at that, 71 degrees. For the mountains, sitting at 28 degrees right now, a southeast wind at 3, and we might be having a little bit of an issue out near Tehachapi. That observation site has been on and off, and we'll take a look at it. But we should be right near 30 by 7 a.m., 60 at noon, and then by 3 o'clock, partly cloudy. Still quite warm this afternoon with 59, and we'll look for a light wind just out of the west at 6. I've got much more in your forecast coming up in just a little bit, but first we'll send it over to Alex. He's got a check of your morning commute.
All right, thanks so much, and we're going to take you outside and show you how the commute is shaping up this morning. We're going to take you to one of our traffic cameras here in just a moment, but things are looking pretty good outside for the most part. Here's a look at the 99 at Airport Drive, and as you can see, things are looking pretty good. Looks like our traffic camera there is frozen, but I can assure you that it is pretty clear on that side of town, as well as everything else around the county. We'll have another check coming up in about 15 minutes.
17 News is your local election headquarters. Today is the last day to register to vote in the March 3rd presidential primary election. You can register online at registertovote.ca.gov. You have to do it before midnight to participate in the election. You can also sign and return your paper registration forms at any available post offices, public libraries, and election offices. Just make sure your form is postmarked today, February 18th, in order for it to be accepted.
We are just a day away from President Trump touching down in Bakersfield. He and Congressman Kevin McCarthy will be talking with farmers about water issues here in the valley. Yesterday, a huge Air Force cargo jet landed at Meadows Field to prepare for the president's arrival. And you can see what appears to be a C-5 unloading a stair truck. This visit is part of a week-long tour of western states, which include Nevada, Arizona, and Colorado. You can count on TV 17 to bring you the latest on the president's visit as soon as it comes in.
Now, before he lands in Bakersfield, President Trump is visiting L.A. He'll meet with the Los Angeles Olympic Organizing Committee to talk about preparations for the 2028 Summer Olympic Games, which will be held in Los Angeles. Then the president will hold a roundtable discussion with his supporters and attend a fundraising dinner in Beverly Hills.
After he finishes up in Bakersfield, President Trump is headed to Las Vegas. On Thursday, he'll talk about his administration's Second Chance program for inmates at the Hope for Prisoners graduation ceremony. On the other side of the aisle, Democrats are also in Nevada this week on the campaign trail. They'll face off in a debate tomorrow night ahead of the Nevada caucuses on Saturday.
As NBC's Tracy Potts reports, all eyes are on billionaire Michael Bloomberg, who just this morning qualified for the debate.
Billionaire Michael Bloomberg has qualified for tomorrow night's Democratic presidential debate in Las Vegas. He received 19% in an NPR PBS Marist poll. Bloomberg's ad spending, more than all the other candidates combined, is under fire from the frontrunner, Senator Bernie Sanders.
Mr. Bloomberg, like anybody else, has a right to run for president. He does not have a right to buy the presidency.
Democrats are taking aim at billionaire Michael Bloomberg's stop and frisk policy as mayor of New York City and decades of lawsuits from female employees. He denies any wrongdoing.
Michael Bloomberg, with $62 billion, can buy every ad he wants, but he can't, in fact, wipe away his record.
We have exactly one shot.
All the candidates are spamming Nevada's airwaves with 20,000 ballots already cast in early voting and lines up to 2 hours long.
It is time for a wealth tax in America.
Senators Elizabeth Warren and Amy Klobuchar are hoping to do some catch-up here, while the man with the most delegates focuses on President Trump.
A campaign message that says that you either got to be for the revolution or you must be for the status quo. Most of us don't know where we fit in that picture.
The president heads west today, hitting 4 states, including Nevada. As for Michael Bloomberg, he will be on that stage with the other candidates tomorrow night, even though he still won't be on Nevada's ballot. Tracy Potts, NBC News, Washington.
5:06 now and back here at home. This week, the City Council will consider approving mid-year budget appropriations for the police and fire departments, including outfitting officers with body cameras. The city wants $737,000 to buy 215 body cameras for officers later this spring. Last September, the Bakersfield Police Department teamed up with Axon Enterprise Incorporated to get body cameras for all sworn officers and all uniformed police civilian personnel assigned to field duties. The first phase of the plan consisted of 210 cameras. If the extra funding is approved by the City Council, all BPD officers would be equipped with a camera for the rest of the fiscal year.
The city is also looking to spend $320,000 for 2 new fire engines. The city wants these in place by the start of the 2020-2021 fiscal year as the department is working to expand. They're bringing in 6 new engineers and 6 firefighters to serve as rescue squads and as backup for other firefighters.
And the City Council is also considering putting aside $822,000 to battle homelessness. The bulk of the money would go to Kern County to help with expenses for its new homeless shelter on M Street. The rest of the money would go to support the city's new homeless shelter on East Brundage Lane. You can find more details about this and the whole mid-year budget report on our website. A reminder, the City Council meeting is tomorrow night at 5:15 p.m.
New this morning on Sunrise, police are trying to figure out what led to a crash overnight in downtown Bakersfield. It happened just after 10:30 near the corner of 24th and 8th Streets. As you can see here in this new video, the car is flipped over on its roof halfway up the curb. No one was seriously hurt.
The motorcyclist killed in a suspected drunk driving crash is being remembered for his time playing local high school football. 24-year-old Dion Nobles was killed Friday night on Chester Avenue and 2nd Street. Bakersfield police say a pickup truck turned in front of his motorcycle, causing the bike to slam into the truck. Nobles was a 2015 Bakersfield High School graduate and played driller football. He's remembered by family and friends as a great driller. Torres Dawson, the pickup's driver, was arrested on suspicion of DUI and gross vehicular manslaughter. Dawson's out on bail and his court date has not been set.
Police arrested a man accused of brandishing a gun in central Bakersfield. Officers say the man was seen waving the pistol around the area of 4th Street and Union Avenue yesterday. They arrested 61-year-old Ernest Edward Cartwright on gun-related charges.
Today, the McFarland Planning Commission is set to hold a second hearing on a proposed plan to allow 2 prisons to serve as immigration detention centers. And local community and faith leaders plan to protest. Private company Geo Group's requesting to expand its immigration detention capacity from 400 to 1,800 beds by turning 2 correctional facilities into detention centers. The company says the plan would add jobs and bring economic development to McFarland. Critics of the plan say Geo's profiting from locking up and separating immigrant families. Today, the Rapid Response Network of Kern, as well as faith in leaders and community members will hold a march and news conference before the hearing. The march starts at 4 o'clock on West Perkins Avenue. Protesters will head to Veterans Hall for the news conference at 5:30. The public hearing starts at 6.
All right, your time now is 5:10, and it is a warning for parents coming from our own team.
That's right. Still ahead, what she says about furniture safety after a terrifying close call with her child.
Working in the spirit of the Golden Empire, this is 17 News with Maddie Jansen, Alex Fisher, and Kevin Charette with your Pinpoint Doppler forecast. This is 17 News at Sunrise.
We've seen these stories on the news, but I guess we had just thought, oh, it won't happen to us.
A warning for parents with young children from our chief meteorologist, Alyssa Carlson. Her young daughter, Eris, was caught on a nanny cam, pulling out drawers, climbing onto her dresser, when it suddenly comes crashing down. Thankfully, Eris was not hurt, but it could have been much worse. According to the Consumer Product Safety Commission, a child dies from furniture, appliances, or TVs tipping over every 2 weeks in the U.S. The family had steel cables installed to the back of the dresser, so this doesn't happen again, and they're urging others to do the same.
Once you have a baby, to start anchoring the furniture to the wall, because it could be someone who starts climbing a little bit earlier than you recognize, and then that's right when the danger happens.
Whoa! I had a lot of mom guilt about it, and now I've kind of gotten past that hurdle and think, okay, we need to tell people, please do this, because this could happen to your child.
So terrifying. The CPSC also says parents should keep toys off of dressers, TV stands, or other pieces of furniture that could tip over so kids aren't tempted to climb up to reach them.
I've seen this video over and over again, and every time I watch it, it is a chilling video, but it's a good reminder of, make sure that those dressers, those appliances are strapped, because you just don't know. 5:22 now, and a local group spent its President's Day giving back to our community. Yesterday was National Random Act of Kindness Day, which encourages people to help each other. And to celebrate, Bakersfield's Texas Roadhouse management team volunteered at the Bakersfield Mission of Kern County. They served lunch and prepped dinner for people who were less fortunate. They also handed out job cards for anyone who was in need of work. Ralph Freeman took one of those cards and says he is very thankful for all the help.
It's a long ways, because I'm unfortunate at this point. My choices got me homeless, but they took me in. I can have a bed to sleep in, I have a shower, I have a meal, and I'm grateful.
You don't have to wait for a national day to help out the mission. You can sign up to volunteer anytime online. We have all that information on our website, kget.com.
5:22 now, the Buena Vista Museum of Natural History and Science has been challenged to reach a massive fundraising goal. The BVM executive director says it's their 25th anniversary serving the community. To celebrate the milestone, one private donors challenged them to a $25,000 goal. Every donation received until March 31st will be doubled. All proceeds will help bring in 21st century technology to make science come alive at the museum. If you'd like to donate, just head to sharktoothhill.org.
All right, still to come this morning on Sunrise, the coronavirus has been in the news a lot lately, with cases spreading worldwide. But how dangerous is the virus?
How it's compared to the flu, plus how the coronavirus scares leading to better health habits. Still ahead.
KGET Business Watch is brought to you by Grapevine MSP Technology Services, the Valley's leading IT service provider.
5:26 now, the Boy Scouts of America has filed for bankruptcy. According to a new filing this morning, the Boy Scouts has $50,000 or less in assets, but liabilities between $100 million and $500 million. Because of the bankruptcy, hundreds of sexual abuse lawsuits facing the Boy Scouts are now on hold. Last April, court testimony showed that the organization believed more than 7,800 of its former leaders were involved in sexually abusing more than 12,000 children over the course of 72 years. Now that evacuees from the Diamond Princess cruise ship are back in the U.S., the number of coronavirus cases in the country has nearly doubled. But those people are under quarantine right now. And while the coronavirus can be deadly, health experts say Americans stand a much higher chance of getting the flu. Sarah Dolph reports.
While much of the world has been focused on coronavirus, now officially named COVID-19, the flu has been gaining strength in the U.S., now widespread in almost every state.
We're actually on the upswing for influenza in the United States.
The CDC estimates there have been 26 to 36 million cases of influenza this season so far. A sharp contrast to the number of confirmed coronavirus cases in the country, just over 24.
The pictures you see coming out of Wuhan of people having trouble getting food and being cared for on cots in gymnasiums are frankly frightening to many people. But for people outside of the hardest hit areas of China, I think the concern needs to be more about the standard respiratory illnesses.
But fears of both can be channeled into productive, preventative behaviors like washing hands, coughing and sneezing into an elbow or tissue, staying home if sick, and in the case of influenza, getting a flu shot. Experts say it's not too late.
Flu can strike anyone. It's more likely to be serious in certain groups, but even people who are young and healthy can acquire and die of influenza.
The CDC says at least 14,000 people have died so far this season from the flu, 92 of them children, including 5-year-old Lachlan DeSantis and 16-year-old Katie Giovanello. Two faces of a deadly flu season in the U.S., with millions more cases expected.
That was Sarah Dolph reporting. Health experts do expect flu and coronavirus cases to rise in the U.S., but they say the flu cases will easily outnumber coronavirus cases. Alex?